your biggest supporters are strangers. Your biggest supporters are people you do not know. Why is that? Well, people generally like familiarity and those that are similar to them, and anyone different to them, they sometimes get triggered within their ego and go, well, are they doing this? And, I wish I was doing that. And that's particularly more profound in like family members or friends, people that, you may have gone to the same school with, or you know them through community sport or, religious studies or whatever. You're gonna bump into these people, work colleagues, but the people that want to see you do well is people you don't even know, complete strangers that, you can build a group of people and supporters from all over the world, and I think that's interesting because typically human beings have only harmed, not sometimes just other people, but themselves through, greed or their ego. And, you can go back through history to all the world wars, World War One, World War Two, and, all of that was for power and control. And by the end of World War Two, 100 million people had died. So for what? Greed, power, and all from the ego. And so through awakening and higher consciousness, you can come to see that at the end of the day, we are born alone and we die alone. That's just the straight fact. As blunt as that may be, we are truly on this world to help other people through just talking on YouTube, sharing our story, sharing what we have learned through our own failings or successes. And I think sometimes, for me personally, I probably get into a bit of a deep thinking rut where it is sometimes very exhausting. But unless you're to be self-aware, it's not exactly easy, and it's something that I certainly wish I probably wasn't as self-aware, because I think the reason one resists awakening is the fear of their own selves, their own shadows, because we all have shadows from the past, through our childhood, through trauma, through what went right for us at a young age, what went wrong for us at a young age. A lot of that needs to be unpacked, and so stepping into the unknown, stepping out of your comfort zone, leaving that job that you hate, it's only going to better your life. Stepping into your own power and light is essential. And you can be one of two people. You can be one that chooses to go, okay, this is who I am, this is what I need to do in order to be the best version of myself, or you can be another person who just sticks to what they know and doesn't really expand beyond that, which I'm not saying is a bad thing, but for personal growth and development and long-lasting positive, impactful life, not just for you, but for those around you, one needs to expand. And so I just think that putting yourself out there is, it's nerve-wracking for sure. But at the end of the day, what do you have to lose? Nothing. You have nothing to lose. I think some of the happiest moments of my life in my childhood probably would be when I first met my hero, someone that I looked up to, like a football player, and seeing him, and then working out that my hero was actually quite flawed. And we see that all the time with people that we once looked up to, and you go, well, they're just as flawed as us. You know, just like our parents, they're just as flawed as us. Just like your partner that you choose to be with. Everything's all roses, and then, I don't know, a year or 2 years down the track, you go, well, they're pretty messed up, just like me. So there's those sort of, I guess, like synchronicities in a way. Like synchronicities are basically checking in on what your alignment is. So if you're aligning to something, you'll notice these synchronicities and go, well, okay, well, this is what I must be doing. This is what I must be, this path is what I must be on in order to do what I want to do and to do it well. And I think once we check in with that and actually are aware of that, you can park your ego to the side, and you can have a whole range of people notice that, you know, hey, this person's actually good at this, or this person's good at that, and you can actually use your talents and skills to expand and to grow and to show what you're capable of. But I think the greatest gift really is having that understanding and awareness to help other people, because I really didn't have someone growing up that sort of said, hey, look, this is what's going to happen. You're going to leave school. You're going to hopefully get a job, right? You can have a year off, right? You can have a gap year, or you can have a year off working, and then maybe go to uni to study. And then after that, you know, you're going to be either coming out with a degree, or, you know, still working a full-time job, right? But there was no real sort of guidance with that. And, you know, if I was talking to my 18-year-old self now, I'd be like, seriously, man, just try a lot of different things, because a lot of the things that you're going to do from here on out, they're not going to define you. You know, your identity isn't linked to the job that you had at 18 or 19. You know, you're really the master creator of what you do. And whether that be, I don't know, so there could be something just basic, like it could be like writing. You might just like writing, and then you end up writing a book, but it's because but you would never know that if you just did what society wants you to be, as a worker bee. In the Bee Movie, they joke about it. They say, you know, be careful what job you choose, because you'll be working it for the rest of your life until you die. And that's like a scary thing, right? Because you're like, oh shit. We fear innately, I think, growing up. It's like, we look at our parents, we go, oh, I don't really want to be like my parents. I want to be more, not in a narcissistic sort of way, but like as in like, gee, I hope I can actually do a little bit better than what they did. But then you realize, you know, the life really can be repetitive. History does repeat itself. And so unless we are aware and break the patterns or the generational trauma that we're enmeshed into, you only see repeated patterns, because you learned repeated patterns from your parents, who then learned it from their parents, your grandparents. So you need to understand that in order to be the best version of yourself is to break free from that, you know, to break free from that and to understand, well, okay, I'm not them. I might be blood, right? But I'm not them, because I have my own views and beliefs with it. And like, let's be honest, like, I don't know, maybe you can relate to this. I'm just brainstorming here, but you know, people that go against the grain, you see it in The Breakfast Club, right? You know, the princess, the rebel, the jock, I guess like the nerd or whatever, and then the crazy one. They're all stereotypes, right? But like the person that goes against the grain, and like they go against the family, and they're seen as the black sheep, you know, rightly or wrongly, it's because that person sees what it all is. You know, they see it for what it is. And we all, to an extent, you know, Robert Greene talks about in his book, the 48 laws of power. We all wear masks to get through life because we're all social animals, and if we didn't, you know, be a part of the pack or the herd or the tribe, you get outed pretty quick and you're an outcast, and then you have to fend for yourself, and that just doesn't end well, because humans were meant to be a part of a tribe and to look after each other. Hope that makes sense, but I've just been rambling for like 10 minutes, but yeah, I'll see you in the next one, guys. Comment down below, like and subscribe, and yeah, hopefully that makes sense.